What's up, YouTube? Welcome back for another college football pick'ems video. I'm joined by Rhett in the middle of a hurricane. Everything's shut down, but this ain't stopping him.
No, sir.
Hell yeah. So, before we get into this week, we'll talk about last week. Rhett got me beat last week. He finished on top between us two at 4-6. And, yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to bring up my record. But as you can see, Rhett's positive, above 500. I am not above 500. I am starting my redemption tour like I am with the NFL picks. Yeah, Oof. Not my greatest weekend. So
not your greatest season. What are you talking about, weekend?
I actually did research last week, too. Did not help me at all. Forget research. I'm just going to freeball it. I'm going 10-0 this week. Screw it. Whatever.
All right. Jesus.
Yeah, if I don't finish the season above 500, Reese football would become Rhett football. So, yeah.
Yes.
It'll be all yours. All right. With all that said, let's get into this week. Well, before that, is there anything you want to bring up from last week or not?
Despite the USF Mighty Bulls going down against the Hurricane, funny enough, that's ironic. We have a hurricane happening in Tampa, and we got rocked by a hurricane last weekend. But we kept it close. We're still in the running for the American Athletic Conference. That's all I freaking care about. Give me a go Bulls, Matt.
Go Bulls.
Yes.
Go Bulls. All right. Moving on to this week. A bunch of good matchups here. Just like last week. I thought there was quite a few upsets last week. So let's see what goes on this week. First game on the slate, we got Oklahoma State Cowboys at Kansas State Wildcats. Oklahoma State lost a pretty close one against Utah, but Utah was kind of in control of that whole match pretty much. Whereas Kansas State, probably the worst football I've seen out of them in a long time, getting blown out by BYU. Man, the Cougs really owned the Wildcats there, man. It was like bad interception, just being lazy on special teams, allowing a 99-yard punt return for a touchdown or a kick return, whatever it was. It was ridiculous. It was so bad. But yet they come in here against Oklahoma State, one of the top dogs in the Big 12, and they're coming in as the favorites at home. So I don't know, man. This is a tough one. I don't know if I can trust K-State after what I saw last week, but we're one of the favorites to win the Big 12, so it's kind of a must-win for them, kind of a must-win situation for both these teams, actually. And I don't know, man. I think I gotta go with Oklahoma State. I originally had Kansas State, but I was switched to Oklahoma State because I still can't trust K-State after last week. That was just so bad. But I mean, Oklahoma State, they still got the veteran quarterback. I mean, he didn't play all that well last week, but still, that was a tough Utah defense. A defense, it's just tough. I mean, Oklahoma State they got the weapons, they got the receivers, they got Ollie Gordon. Hopefully he starts starting up soon. He's been having a slow start to the season. Whereas Kansas State's, their defense was just getting blown out by BYU, which we both expected to not be so good this season, but here we are. So give me the team on the road here. Give me Oklahoma State. Give me the Cowboys.
Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah.
This matchup's very interesting because both teams looked a little spotty to start the season. You had K-State against Tulane, barely winning that game by a touchdown. That was a back-and-forth duel. Is Tulane that good, or is K-State a little underwhelming this year? We're going to find out. This is a make-it-or-break-it game in Week 5 of college football. This is interesting to have this kind of game at this point in the season. But I truly believe this is make it or break it, especially with how cannibalistic the Big 12 is going to be this season and already has been with BYU, with Utah, UCF. A lot of these teams are on the rise, and it's a pretty equally matched conference. That being said, Ollie Gordon has to turn it up eventually. Surely. It's the odds of probability. He has to have one game where he pops off. Surely. Now, Kansas State gave up, I believe, 2 scores, one on special teams, one on defense. Very poor performance, but was their defense tested truly? Yeah, they gave up a lot of points, but I think a lot of those points were because of a poor offensive performance that put the defense in a bad spot. This is a truly tough game for me to pick. I have to go Oklahoma State because I have them winning the Big 12 this year, and I can't afford another loss for them. Give me the Cowboys.
All right. Yeehaw. Next game. We got BYU, speaking of the Cougars, playing Baylor Bears. Baylor. Man, a lot of comeback by Colorado. Last second Hail Mary taken overtime. And Travis Hunter literally dog walked on Baylor. He did a little the Kai-Cenat celebration. Whereas BYU looked the best they have all season. They've just been upsetting teams left and right. And with this kind of matchup, man, I got to go with the hot team. The hot team right now is BYU. They're finally ranked. But we kind of talked about before we started recording, you mentioned that teams that come with big wins end up, disappointing the next week. Could this happen here? Potentially, but I mean, I'm not gonna risk on that. Baylor is actually the favorite at home, so I mean, it could happen. But give me BYU. I'm gonna ride their hot hands here.
This is another great matchup. I don't know what the hell happened to my boy DeQuan Finn, but he's no longer the starter potentially. I'm not sure. We were talking about that a little bit off camera, but if DeQuan Finn doesn't play, I don't believe in Baylor. And plus, we didn't mention this all season. I think it's because BYU hasn't been in the spotlight. But this is Daniel's favorite team.
Oh, yeah.
He's told us this many times, off camera, on camera. He freaking loves the Cougars, and I love my guy. Give me BYU.
There we go. All right. Great pick. Moving on. Next game. We got Louisville at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's at home. Oh, man, both these teams are kind of tough. Louisville 3-0, hot start to the season. Notre Dame sitting 3-1 with the loss against Northern Illinois, who lost to Buffalo last week. So, who knows what that means for Notre Dame? I mean, they're they're a moderate favorite against Louisville here. This is a tough one. Louisville is ranked 15. This is a 15 versus 16 matchup. Man, this is definitely a tough one. Louisville definitely comes out to play. I think I'm going to go with Louisville just because Notre Dame, they haven't been looking all that impressive. They've been playing close with every team. But even with that, they were still able to manage wins over teams like Texas A&M, who may look a little shaky sometimes, but still a good win. And with that, I don't know, man. Riley Leonard doesn't look too impressive or like all that impressive so far. So with that, I'm gonna trust in Louisville's defense, and I'm gonna pick the Cardinals on the road.
Great pick, man. I thought we were gonna be opposing sides on this one. I'm still up in the air with this pick because Notre Dame usually has a really good record at home, but we saw them shit the bed this season 2 weeks ago against Northern Illinois, where they should not have lost that game. They lost, and they had a shitty offensive performance. Everything was bad that game for them. Riley Leonard threw a pick in crucial crunch time. Their run game is what's holding them up right now. Jeremiah Love, Riley Leonard both have over 350 yards rushing this season. They're going to have to run the ball against Louisville. I don't know how good Louisville is this year, though. And because of that, I am going to switch up. I'm going to go Notre Dame just because Louisville is untested. Notre Dame is relatively tested against Texas A&M, and I don't think Notre Dame can afford a loss. Louisville, they can afford a loss because this is not an ACC matchup, even though it really should be at this point. Notre Dame are 6.5-point favorites. That's huge. I'm going to give it to Notre Dame Fighting Irish because of the home field advantage and run game.
Okay, so like you mentioned, Notre Dame is still going to heavily have to rely on their run game because passing game is not all there. Riley Leonard has 2 interceptions to 1 touchdown pass, so definitely rushing is their strength. Louisville has been doing pretty good defending the rush, only allowing 114 yards, rushing yards per game. So I think it's a good matchup for Louisville. Next game, we got Arkansas at Texas A&M. Now Arkansas, they're 3-1, but man, that was such a shitty game against Auburn, man. Like,
bad.
I was watching some of that game. I think in the first half there was like a combined 5 interceptions, and there was back to back. They're literally playing hot potato with the football. But yeah, I mean, Taylor Green, he struggled to defend or to protect the football against Auburn. Now Texas A&M ain't gonna be easier. Texas A&M is gonna be at home. They've shown to me they can move the football. Even do you know if Wigman's gonna be playing this game?
No, it's Reed, I believe. I think Reed took over.
Okay.
But this is a neutral site game. It's at Jerry World.
Oh, so it's a neutral site game. Okay, I didn't know that. So it's a neutral site game. I still think Texas A&M is the better team. I think they have the better offense, and Arkansas, I think they have a shaky defense. So with that, I'm gonna go with Texas A&M to win. They're practically at home. It's still in Texas, so somewhat at home. So give me Texas A&M. I think Arkansas is a little overrated here, but I mean, I don't even know if they're overrated. I don't even know if they're rated at all. I don't think anyone cares about Arkansas. So give me Texas A&M.
Interesting pick. I just looked it up. Connor Wegman is the starter for this game. It's
all right,
not
even better.
Marcus Reed, I want to say, is his name. This is a really tough game. I love this matchup. And let me see here. Who has the better passing game? Wegman had one game where he did not perform well against Notre Dame. Taylor Green popped off against OK State, but had very crucial turnovers to lose that game.
Yeah.
Both teams struggled against a group of 5 opponent. I don't know if you saw that. Bowling Green and UAB. Both only won by, Texas A&M won by 6, UAB won by 10. Both struggled against a SEC opponent in Florida. And I think they dominated Florida, Texas A&M.
Oh yeah,
But
for sure.
I have a special spot in my heart for Arkansas and Sam Pittman, and I'm going on a whim here. I'm gonna say Arkansas brings the Arkansas heat, and there's a hurricane that might flow through Arkansas during this game, even though it's in Texas. Give me Arkansas Razorbacks.
I'm gonna say that's a bold pick. That's a bold pick. There you go. That's good. Moving on. Next game, we got Fresno State at UNLV. And I don't know if you heard all the drama with UNLV. It's some pretty crazy stuff. I mean, that's, I guess, when it comes with the NIL deals and stuff. Actually, no, you have heard it, because I think you texted me about it.
Yeah, I texted you today.
Yeah, you did. So, their quarterback, Saluka, he's redshirting because he's apparently he was promised $100,000 to transfer to the school, only received $3,000, and so he decided to redshirt out of retaliation. And I mean, with the NIL deals now, that's like it's not regulated very much. You can definitely I think we're definitely gonna see a lot of sketchy contracts with the NIL coming up. I've even seen some contract that says if they go pro, they'll have to pay a certain percentage of their contract that they earn in the future to that NIL school or NIL deal. A bunch of shady stuff. The running back is also redshirting because of the same thing. He was promised money, didn't receive it. So who the heck knows what's going on in UNLV? So for that reason, give me the Bulldogs. Max King. On the Fresno side, they are actually playing pretty well. They only lost to Michigan week 1, and ever since been destroying the competition. So, in their case, they've also been playing pretty well. But give me the Bulldogs.
You are correct. Fresno State has destroyed all of their other opponents besides Michigan. But Sacramento State, New Mexico State, New Mexico, they are what we call in this industry dog shit.
Yeah, I agree.
And this is Fresno State's first test, or we would have thought was their first test. I still think UNLV's defense is legit. But when your quarterback is obviously your leading passer and your leading rusher, and then he said peace, and then your second leading rusher is also gone because of said money issues, UNLV, usually when a tragedy happens with a team, they unite, they come together, and they beat the brakes off whoever they're playing next week.
Okay.
But this is not a tragedy. This is an unwinding of a program. It's funny that UNLV obviously stands for University of Nevada, Las Vegas, because they fucking gambled. They tried to bring in 2 top transfers with the promise of paying them big money. And guess what? The money didn't come through. That's like me at the casino. That's like Matt when he fucking sports bets. Fresno State is going to win this game because UNLV is not going to score a point. Give me Fresno State.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I saw someone comment under one of the posts saying that definitely one of the boosters just lost all that money in slots. So, make a lot of sense. It's in Las Vegas. So.
Yep.
Moving on. Next game, we got Oklahoma at Auburn. Jackson Arnold, he will not be starting. Got benched.
Correct.
For another quarterback, and they were actually kind of competitive against Tennessee. That defense was what honestly kept them in that game. So it's going to be exciting stuff to see what will happen with this new quarterback. Unfortunate for Jackson Arnold, but still. Oklahoma's defense actually stepped up big time, so that looked good. On the other hand, Auburn did not look good. They kept flip-flopping quarterbacks. Did not work. They started off with, I believe it was a redshirt freshman, but they threw 3 picks against Arkansas. Not a good look. They resorted back to Peyton Thorne, and he ended up throwing another interception. Not a good look. I mean, Auburn is struggling offensively, and if Oklahoma was able, if their defense was able to play pretty well and hold Tennessee to only 25 points. I mean, I don't even think Auburn might even score. I don't think they're going to score 2 touchdowns. So, with that, I got to go Oklahoma on the road. And just for the record, the quarterback for Oklahoma is Michael Hawkins Jr.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, we'll see how he did. It'll be interesting. Oklahoma might actually turn around their season.
Oh, man. I feel for Jackson Arnold. He is a redshirt freshman. Obviously sat on the bench behind Dylan Gabriel last year and played in the bowl game against Arizona, a red-hot Arizona team, and got the brakes beat off them pretty badly, if we remember that game. I think Oklahoma had a big lead, 17-0, and then Arizona just piled the points on 138-24.
Yeah.
That's besides the point. I'm sorry. I just had to bring that up. I have a soft spot for Auburn. I don't know why. Peyton Thorne is our age. He's a 27-year-old college football quarterback at this point. Auburn's running back, I think it's, Jazeer Hunter, I think is his name. Hunter, he's an NFL caliber running back, and I want to say he's the only NFL offensive skill player, NFL caliber offensive skill player in this game right now playing. That says a lot. I don't trust Auburn's defense, but I really don't trust Oklahoma's offense. And it's at Jordan-Hare. If this was a night game, I would no doubt go with the upset Auburn, and they would definitely rush the field because that's the kind of fan base these guys are. We haven't really seen any field rushes lately. Colorado did it last week, obviously, after they beat a freaking JV school in Baylor. It doesn't make any sense that they rushed the field, but I get it. It was a spectacular win. But I'm going with the first true stadium rushing of the season that I've seen. I don't know. I might have missed a couple. But high caliber stadium rushing is going to happen around 7 p.m. on Saturday when Auburn Tigers beat Oklahoma Sooners. Give me the Tigers.
Ooh, it's at a pick 'em right now, but still, I would say that's bold. You're expecting a Peyton Thorne turnaround game here, huh?
I am, and I think Hunter, the running back, is going to carry. Oklahoma's defense is fucking amazing, but their offense is so bad right now. The Sooners, they really need. I could really eat my words here, and Sooners could put up 45 points. I know that, but I'm gonna go with the opposite. I'm gonna go with Sooners defense getting a little frustrated, getting a little tired, and Auburn Tigers scoring just enough points to win this game. I think it's going to be really close. Let's say 20-13. It's going to be a low-scoring, very close game. Give me the Tigers. Doubling down.
All right. Huge moves there. All right. I like it. Next game, we got North Carolina at Duke. Duke's off to a hot start, 4-0, with wins over Elon, Northwestern, Connecticut, and Middle Tennessee. Oh, that's a gauntlet right there. huge for this Duke program. I don't know if you can believe that, but North Carolina, they're sitting at 3-1 with a massive loss to James Madison. Oh my goodness, 70-50. That is crazy. Yeah, not a good showing there by North Carolina. I think this is actually going to be a good matchup, but North Carolina, they have the better competition. Malik Murphy's been actually playing pretty solidly. I don't know where to go with this one. Maybe you can convince me on this.
I know.
I'm gonna let you give your breakdown because I still don't know who I'm thinking.
This is a tough matchup, my friend. We have North Carolina. This is a battle for North Carolina, by the way. This is a rivalry game.
Oh yeah.
In basketball, they're two basketball schools right here. Oh my God, dude. This is one of the toughest games I've had to pick in a while because I know nothing about Duke. I don't know anything about them except Malik Murphy, who's a transfer from Texas. Their running back, S. Thomas. I don't know. Stephen Thomas, Sean Thomas. I don't know. I know
Star
Amarian
Thomas.
Hampton. Who is it?
His name is Star Thomas.
Star. I was close, yeah. He's a star, brother.
That was your next guess.
That was my third guess, of course. This game's really tough, man. Manny Diaz, first-year head coach, he picked the schedule beautifully. The first 4 games to build hype around his program.
Yeah.
You cannot play 4 worse teams. Middle Tennessee, UConn, Northwestern. And they almost lost against UConn and Northwestern. I don't think Duke's that good, but their record 4-0 at home in a big spotlight game for them. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go North Carolina because I believe in Amarian Hampton, and he's been popping off this year. Give me North Carolina just based on that.
That's a great analysis. So North Carolina beat Duke in basketball this year, so I'm going to go North Carolina.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Good one, Matt. There we go.
Thank you. Next game. We're aligned. Stars are aligned for us here today. Next game, we got a massive one. Georgia, number 2, at Bama, number 4. Man, both these teams are having pretty good seasons. This is a huge SEC matchup that will determine the rest of I don't even know if it'll determine. Well, it might determine the season for Bama because they also still have a tough competition coming up from the SEC.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, man. Georgia barely survived Kentucky. Bama has been handling competition with their toughest competition being to USF, I guess. I was going to say Wisconsin, but USF put up more of a fight than Wisconsin did. They didn't even
Go
have
Bulls,
a quarterback.
baby.
So,
Go
Carson
Bulls.
Beck, Trevor Etienne, the man that left Florida. Rip, man. Shoot, man, it's a tough one. I think Jalen Milroe is, to me, an inconsistent quarterback. They still have that 17-year-old star wide receiver. The defense, it's been playing pretty solid. This will be the first test for Bama. Georgia was kind of tested against Kentucky, but still, they were able to fight through and win that matchup. So I think I got to go. I'm going to go Georgia. I think they got the more talented team. Can Kalen DeBoer win the big games? I don't know. Kirby Smart shows he can win the big games, so I think I'm going to trust the coaching of Kirby Smart over here. So give me Georgia.
Great pick, Matt.
Thank you.
I love Kalen DeBoer. I don't like Bama, but that's just because Nick Saban screwed over the Dolphins back in 2008 and left us for dead. And we picked up, Ted Ginn instead of Brady Quinn, which Brady Quinn wasn't a good NFL quarterback. I digress. Georgia Bulldogs, Alabama, Roll Tide. It's at Bryant-Denny. Under the lights, you've got Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit. This is going to be a phenomenal game. That's all I know. I think the first half's going to start very slow for both these teams. Jalen Milroe is going to have a tough time creating what he does, and that's magic. He's a magical player on the field with his feet. He can throw the ball phenomenal at times and then misses the easiest ball of all time. Carson Beck is definitely the more consistent and better thrower of the ball.
Yes, for sure.
Trevor Etienne versus Jay Miller. I would have to go Etienne as the better running back, but then Alabama clearly has the better receivers. They're always getting the better receivers against the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah.
This is going to be a defensive battle as well. I think Bama's defense is very good. It hasn't truly been tested yet. USF tested them, and they only put up 16 points before USF decided to shit the bed in the fourth. I'm going to go with Georgia Bulldogs because they are my front runners to win the SEC besides Tennessee, obviously. My predictions have Georgia winning, Tennessee as the runner-up or whatever. I'm going to go with the Bulldogs. We had 2 Bulldog wins here.
Yeah.
Just realized that.
It's a great day to be a dog.
Great day.
Speaking of dogs, our next matchup, we got a Cougar at Boise State. Watch out, Boise State. We got a Cougar. So, next matchup. Well, this is actually a good matchup here. Washington
really
State
is
4-0. Boise State is sitting at 2-1, and they're ranked 25th in the country. Washington State, strong season offensively, man. They've been putting up 70 points, 37, 24 against Washington, a rival team, and 54 against San Jose. But that was in second overtime. San Jose pushed them to the limits. So, Boise, Madsen leading the Broncos here. So far this season has thrown for 600 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. And let me just say, I'm on the Ashton Jeanty hype train, Heisman train, choo-choo.
There we go.
They've been killing it so far this season. By killing it, they competed against Oregon and almost beat Oregon. So that's huge for Boise. I like this team. I like their rushing attack. Jeanty all the way. Boise favored by 7. Give me Boise State on the blue field in Idaho.
Woo!
Woo! Ric Flair. Woo!
Woo! I don't know how good Boise's defense is, but I do know how good Jeanty is. Ashton Jeanty. Gianti. However you want to say his fucking name. That guy will be in New York. Oh, there we go. He will be in New York for sure in December. This game, it gets tough throughout the year in college football and in the NFL, but mainly college football because I fall in love with teams and then I never want to pick against them. And that's how I am with the Cougs right now. I am in love with this team, and I know I haven't done my takeaway videos in a while just because work's been a bit busy, but I still have been writing down my takeaways. And my takeaway before last week for Washington State was they could go undefeated this year. I know that sounds crazy, but their schedule is not that hard. San Jose State's a really tough team, and they survived. They play Boise State this week, and then they play Fresno. That's a 5-game gauntlet if you include Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech's good this year. You had Texas Tech, Washington, San Jose, Boise, Fresno. 5 games in a row that are really going to test their will. And then they play Hawaii, and they should get a reset game. They should get a reset in the schedule there. I really love this Cougar team. I love the Cougars. The Cougars are always on my mind.
Oh, I bet it is.
I can't pick against the Cougars, and it scares me because this is on the blue field at night in Idaho. Boise. Give me the Cougs. Fuck it. Give me the Cougs.
All right. Good pick. I mean, I can't believe it. That's solid. There's definitely value on that side. But yeah, that wraps up this week of college football picks. This week is going to be an interesting week. It may shift the rest of the season in terms of like who makes the playoffs or like the routes teams take to make the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely what's going to affect Boise. You still got that Bama-Georgia game. I mean, I can't wait for this week. This week should be a good one. Louisville, Notre Dame, that's another good matchup. So, here's to another good week of college football, and let's just hope that hurricane doesn't affect any of this. So,
True.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. You got anything else?
I have nothing, but let's just everyone please survive the hurricane. Wherever you're at, Tallahassee's going to get blasted. I don't know where they're playing. I think if they have a bye week, I'm not sure. But everyone, stay safe. Tampa's going to do fine. Everywhere except Tallahassee's going to be fine. Tallahassee's going to get fucking blasted. But let's just hope the damage is minimal at best. Thoughts and prayers. Let's get through this week, man.
Yeah, maybe this will be a turning point for the FSU program. So, thank you guys for watching.
There it is.
Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more college football content this season. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.